Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel.
What's up, everybody? Drop your city and state in the chat. Help your girl out. Okay, we've got our humidifier keeping our sinuses going, keeping our deep breathing going. Okay, listen. You see the top 3 up there, top 40 certifications book. Number 2 has got 4 temp agencies in there that you can help jumpstart your career. They put you to work pretty fast if you can do well on the interviews. Again, click the link, get a certification or 2. 5-day challenge. Listen, I've been talking about digital marketing, affiliate marketing for over 10 years. I've been in property management over 15 years, all kind of stuff. I want you to understand it's big money. You know what I mean? Management is a lifelong thing, and I'll kind of go over it here. Number 3 is Digital Liberty Warriors. We just finished training on creating a course and podcast. Then we also, a week before that, we picked up a week before that. We talked about Facebook ads, and we'll hit Facebook ads again like the second week in April. I think it's the second week of April. Okay. Remember, I'm literally doing a bunch of podcasts. I'll even be up in North Texas this weekend for a conference on taxes and wealth and moving money around, super exciting taxes, and then doing a bunch of interviews in person up in North Texas. So listen, catch me when you can, catch the shows when you can, move that over just a little bit there. We can still breathe, but a little bit over. All right, so let's get into it. Again, you see the title, you need a roadmap. Wealthy folks are gaslighting you into being a tourist. I get it. You're looking online. You see people living. I posted a photo earlier of Miami South Beach, 2021 and 2025. And someone commented, the first comment is like, yeah, men stop going to clubs and paying for drinks. So we out. It's like, wait a minute. And that's not even what this post is about. The post was reflecting on COVID. Okay. And the fact that many people, when you force people into the house and then you say, okay, y'all can come back outside now, they're going to go hardcore outside. Okay. And the economy dictates who keeps getting to play summer. Because trust me, spring break was everywhere this year. You had lots of white college kids having spring break all over the place. Down there, Grand A, PA or whatever we call it down there, Port Arthur, all over Florida, all over the place. Don't get it twisted. People were having spring break. Heavy. Okay. So again, sometimes I post stuff on the community wall just for engagement, and I get that y'all gonna go all over the place with the comments, but it just is a peek into the mind of what you guys are watching day in and day out. Yeah, women's, men. Like, y'all, it's economic, right? When y'all finish getting rid of all that silly stuff, it's economic, because wealthier folks is going on about their day. They having a great day. They loving America. They eating food in America. Like all this, all the wealthy people leaving America and going to Thailand. like you can watch the projection of multiple YouTubers who run off to Thailand and Vietnam, real cheap, dirty places, dirty feet, sandal places. And then they somehow migrate back towards where they're originally from, or Dubai or other places. And they do countless videos on this. But see, most people have short attention spans. And they can't remember stuff past 3 months. Okay, so that works to your advantage as a creator, because people forget. So you can have somebody talking about the housing market crash for 5 years in a row, ain't nothing crashed, and y'all still like, yeah, it's crashing because you can't afford $8 eggs. Baby, come on now. Now I got somewhere to go tonight, and I know Diamond Dave's doing a show at 6, so I don't want to bump up against him. I want y'all to enjoy that commentary because, hey, the stuff I talk about, you already know. I can go on and on about it. But let me pull up a couple items so y'all can see what I am talking about. I pulled them up for y'all. And again, you have people who are inside lane, outside lane. Now, this is the inside lane moment. And I want you to understand, when I talk about Stripe and PayPal and all that stuff, these are people who are inside lane. Now, what does inside lane mean? This means you know the person. You know who started the company. Early Uber investors and their insane returns. Let's say, here we go. Right? Because we're always catching the back end of something. right? Or we don't want to invest in somebody's project unless it makes a ton of sense and a ton of money and money coming right back to me right now. So this guy invested $220,000. 2019, he got $3.5 billion. Let's go here. He invested $95,000. He got $372 million. This guy invested $75,000. Walked off with $372 million. Okay, this couple right here threw in $50K. They got to walk off with $248 million. All right, this guy dropped $30K into it, got to walk off with $149 million. The Hit Forge, okay, they put $30,000 in, got to walk off with $124 million. Okay, Sean Fanning put $25,000 in, got to walk off with $124 million. Okay. This right here, he dropped $25,000, got to walk off with $124 million. Now you can see the companies they're from, and we could go there. He's a Salesforce just executive. He was just working at Salesforce. He put $5K in. He walked off with $24 million. This couple put $5,000 in. They walked off with $24 million. Okay. Now you're gonna say, Erica, why are you showing us this? What this got to do with me? Why you showing me this? Why are you showing me this, Erica? What does that got to do with me? This don't got nothing to do with women's and making money. You can't leave a negative review. Oh, honey, Thailand. Listen, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna get out of there because I can go on a side journey. Why am I showing you this? When people talk to me about wealth and them having money and look at this car and look at this Range Rover, that ain't no money. Money is where I can throw off $5K to this company and I might not get it back. It might come back later. It's truly an investment. This is what I talk about when people say, I'm investing. But then you ask them how much they invest. I put $1,000 in my stockpile account, Erica. I can't sleep at night, Erica, because I'm scared the stock market's going to lose money. When there's opportunity for you out here to educate yourself on how much things cost, where they at, how they do. All these things you can train yourself. You can educate yourself. But this is the inside lane, folks, where somebody gives you an idea or talks to you about a program or a business idea, and you're like, yeah, no problem. Here's the cash. Let's go. Let's put the paperwork in place and let's go. Now, maybe you say, well, Erica, a lot of Black people's poor. They can't do it. Nah, man, we're not poor. Please stop. Please stop this advocating. Can y'all hear me better? I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me start over. Can y'all hear me better now? I think the other mic was picking up. Can y'all hear me better now? Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me better. I really apologize about that. Can y'all hear me better now? Okay. My bad. Okay, so sorry. I apologize. But y'all see the screen, right? Y'all see the screen, correct? Now, one of the things about VC and angel investing is you have to be an accredited investor. All right. So when you see people dropping 25K, you're like, well, golly, Erica. I know people who drop 25K and people having a cryotherapy business and they weren't accredited. They just knew the person. So when the business made money, they got a check back. All right. And a lot of times what happens is we are so focused on the assets, the trinkets of wealth, that we miss out on the true pathway to wealth. And the pathway to wealth, no matter how y'all want to slice it, is going to be businesses. It's going to be having high income skills. It's going to be investing in something. Okay. It's going to be investments. No matter how you want to slice it, it's going to be investments. Okay. Again and again. That's boring, but boring is right. What did I tell y'all yesterday? Fast is slow and slow is smooth. It is a training technique they talk about all the time because it's important. Okay. So let me back out of here. Because you're like, Erica, I don't have, $30,000 to drop old boy in Uber and all those years ago and all that stuff. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. But there's ways to make just as much money, if not more. Again, here, let me show you this. Again, I do this because so many people say, yeah, my little Jerome is going to start from scratch. And I go, man, you hate your kids. You hate your kids. We are in a society where that's not how that works. It hasn't worked that way in the 1980s. Let me show you.
Become world champions. But I truly believe that some people are born fighters. And Gina Carano is the perfect example of that. She comes from an extremely wealthy family. They own Caesar's Palace. They own most of the casinos up in Reno. They're part owners of the Carano wine. And she became a mixed martial artist. And she fought Muay Thai too. When you come from poverty and hardship, those are the people that usually become world champions. But I truly believe that some people are born fighters. And Gina Carano is the perfect example of that. She comes from an extremely wealthy family. They own Caesar's Palace. They own most of the casinos up in Reno. They're part owners of the Carano wine. And she became a mixed martial artist. And she fought Muay Thai too. When you come from poverty and hardship.
Do y'all know who that is? Do you understand the woman he's talking about? Because Chain Shonen also is wealthy. A couple of other fighters are wealthy. Do y'all understand who she is? Does anybody have a guess that name? I can Google search it for you, but do y'all know who that is? Think on it. Think on it. Y'all know who that girl is? That's what's showing on the screen. Are you ready? Did you figure it out? Okay, here we go. Here you go. I'm gonna show you who it is because you're gonna be like, well, just show me who it is, Erica. That's the lady from what? Mandalorian. Mandalorian. And then they got smart with her because what? She gained weight on the Mandalorian. They're like, because you got big, girl. That's why we fired you. Now, that's not the reason they fired her. She started talking smack about Jewish people, and they were like, yeah, you fired. You can't say stuff like that. But what did they forget? She's rich. She got money. So she gonna come to work talking reckless. She don't care what you got to say to her. She's not one of these begging artists that has to beg you to be in a movie. She don't care. She gonna come to set like she want to. She gonna gain 35 pounds in between season 1 and season 2. And what you gonna say about it? What can you say? It's not her contract that she had to stay fit. She's not one of these black actors begging for a check. You know what I mean? Get real. Come on, say something to her on set. You're gonna get a fist to the face. Get out of here. Okay. So I just want you to understand when you start seeing these artists and people were like, yeah, we got to support her. They fired her off Mandalorian because she said something about Jewish people. We got to fight for her. Come on, man. Yeah, we gotta help her. Who you helping? She's rich. She's got millions under her belt. She don't gotta fight nobody. She don't even gotta show up to the movie set if she don't want to. And to be truthfully honest, her family could bankroll her to be in 10 or 12 little B-rated movies on goofy stuff every year. They be like, Gina wants some more money for another one of them little stupid movies. Let's give her a check. Baby, like, I just want y'all to understand, this is what y'all going out here competing against folks. Talking smack against folks. Now, she got that Italian last name, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna walk up out of here because I can say some things. And so you gotta pay attention when people when people are out here like, yeah, we gotta fight for this person. Who is this person? But the average person isn't gonna research or study. People aren't thinking like me. On average, people think, man, we all have a fair shake, Erica. We just come out here and we're all equal together. And, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna show you this thing, and then I'm gonna show you again, the financial diet. I like them. I'm not I'm not beating her up, but I love going over this because it messes with y'all. Let me show you this. And I apologize about the microphone in the beginning. That was terrible. Let me show you this right here. I'm gonna just do some simple math. I'm gonna do simple math here. All right. When I talk about, okay, I hope this is big enough. If it ain't, my bad. I hope it's big enough. Let me see. Is it big enough? It should be. Let me switch down to here. Can y'all see? Hopefully y'all can see. All right, so long story short, there's a roadmap. And a lot of y'all, a lot of people don't know what they want in life. They don't know where they should go. They don't know what they should do. They just follow what other people are doing. And then when they get there, they're like, I don't like that. That's upsetting to me. I'm going to do something different. Right? You know what I'm saying? So let's go there. Affiliate marketing. What happens is a lot of people do affiliate marketing. They send all this traffic to all their affiliates, and they I don't have control over this end result. So then eventually they start e-commerce, right? They start their own e-commerce store, and they're probably selling somebody else's cheap products. Then they get through that process and go, well, no, I want to make my own products with my own private label on. That's usually how that roadmap goes. But you know how you know that? You get on the roadmap. You have to get on the road and start going somewhere. You can't just say, yeah, I'm going to do this. You don't know what you're talking about. Leads, Real estate, build up, develop. So with real estate, a lot of people say, I'm gonna start wholesaling, Erica. Yeah, I'm gonna just wholesale because I want that fast flipping transactional cash. And every wholesaler used to tell people, sell 10, keep 1. Did anybody keep any? Nope. Because eventually this gets old. I know people who are 50, 60, 70 years old still running around being bird dogs, where they ain't even got paperwork in the game. They just, here, I found a place, give me $500. I know $500 to $1,000. Just give me some money, because I'm running around poor areas and I see rundown houses all the time. I've seen this play out for years with a lot of people. So, right, so let's say they do get in the wholesale and they moving some money around. They start to think, well, man, maybe I should buy 1 or 2 of these, or maybe I'm stuck with a deal or 2. So now they're in real estate and they're educating themselves, and maybe the flipping is running dry, the land is running dry, and they go, well, where can get the most return for my money? It's building and developing. Instead of trying to squeeze out 10K, 20K, 30K for people, give me the land and I'll build and develop. Don't have to build fast. I can build slow. I can get construction, whatever. But it all comes from them learning how to sell, how to talk to people on the phone. Now, this is something I went over today. I was calling a couple people in my family and some people I knew, and I'd already texted them, hey, I'm getting ready to call you about this. Well, I get on the phone and I don't say, I'm just going to go here for a second. Y'all don't think I'm being rude, and I don't know how to talk to people. Black people, certain age groups of Black people, and certain Black people in the Midwest and different parts of our country, if you don't start the phone call with, how you doing? Welcome, my sister. Good morning. Sunrise to you, sister. How's your mama? How's your kids? How's your daddy? Oh, my goodness. How's everything going? It's so wonderful to speak to you today. Oh, okay. Now, here's my question. If you don't do that, you're rude. You have no manners. I'm telling y'all, I've met too many Black people that I almost had to hang the damn phone up with them, because I didn't say, oh, how's you doing, sister? How's your day going? How's everything? How's life? I texted you. We about to hop on the phone for a quick minute for you to check off on this paper. If I hop on the phone and I say, hey, man, can you do this real quick? I'm heading out the door. Oh, you're rude. You just start talking on the conversation? Yes. Because I'm an actual person doing something. I'm not your grandma who's been retired for 20 years and ain't got nothing going on. So I'm going to take a 20-minute conversation with you about how you been, baby? How's your day going? What's going on with you? Hey, baby. Like, no, I got things to do. And one of my family members said, see, that's why you've been hanging around them white people too long. You're just being rude on the phone. I'm not being rude on the phone. The key is I've already texted you and told you what the conversation was going to be about. If I worked at an office job, I'm going to email you and say, I'm getting ready to call your office for this question. Can you answer it via the email? And if they answer via email, that saves them a phone call, right? If you work in white collar America long enough, they go, no. Hey, we don't even need to get on the phone. We don't even need to get on a Zoom call. Let me send you this right now. Only Black people, you better butter me up to talk to me. You better butter me up. If you don't butter me up, you rude. You ain't got no manners, no home training. I've literally had to almost cuss people out, y'all, because that's what they require. You got to kiss their ass for 5 minutes to talk to them. Man, you better get the F on. Now, do you got the answer to my question or not? If you don't got it, you can get off the phone and I can move on to the next. See, this is the problem. Now, could I be more patient? Could I butter somebody up for 5 minutes and make small talk? For sure. But this is also why a lot of Black people cannot progress in sales, and they cannot progress in interactive relationships outside their family. You know what I'm saying? Good morning. Hello, how are you? Now, I will be honest with y'all, when it was 2020, 2021, we were getting hundreds of messages a day on Instagram where people are like, yo, what's up? Tell me about the trucks. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, boom, right? And sometimes I say, hey, hello, how you doing? Do I know you? I don't know you. But if we've already had rapport and I've already talked to you either sometime this week, sometime this day, sometime along the way, I don't have to keep telling you, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's your kids? Hey, did you eat lunch yet? What you doing for lunch? That is ridiculous. I will rather not speak to you. I will find a way to go around you. I will find a way to not deal with you. Okay, good day. How you doing? Boom. Let's get to the question. I'm not here to butter you for 20 minutes. And this is how you know people are not understanding business or how to get further ahead. And that's okay, because all money ain't good money, all opportunity ain't all good opportunity. If people, if that's how that person works, hey, you just got to phone it. Okay. But that was on my heart. I had to tell y'all that because I almost lost it today. I almost lost it. I had to hold myself. Get that shit out of here. Okay. So you see the third line: flipping, buy and hold, developing. What happens is you need a roadmap. Once you get on this road, the road becomes clearer the more you go down it. The way I just told y'all about me talking on the phone with people, I have learned myself enough that I have no desire at this point in the journey to do a lot of small talk, a lot of sales one-on-one, a lot of chasing people to talk to them on the phone. I'd rather pay more money to an answering service or another person to do that part of the job. I will partner with most people if they will save me the headache of shit I don't like. Because that's where I'm at my journey. I'm at the management level. I'm no longer a receptionist front desk. Hey, how you doing? I'm here to convince you about YouTube and starting your own business and having a great life. No, I'm not there. We're elevating past there. I don't even use the word grinding anymore because it's such a it's if you're about to be homeless, yeah, baby, you need to get up 6 days a week and grind. If you're homeless, you're living in a hotel, yeah, you need to get up 6 days a week and grind. But some of y'all are in y'all 40s and 50s watching me on this channel being like, well, Erica, I don't want to do help desk. I don't know if we want to do this. Cool. I'm not here to convince, okay? I want you to figure out which roadmap works best for you. And get on it, because I just shared y'all on the community wall about the mom of 4. This happened in 2022. She was driving for Uber. She got 4 kids and a man in the back, black seat, 24 years old. I got kids too. And kills her. And in my head, I'm like, neither one of them should be there. He's ruined multiple lives. He's ruined these 4 kids' lives who mom was just going out trying to work hard. Like ultimately as a mom, when I talk to y'all about women not working, I think y'all think I'm kind of being sarcastic or making fun of women who have to work. And I'm not, because I know a lot of white women who are doing wholesaling, but on a different level. Like they have staff and they home with their kids. They're just following up on contracts and things on Friday. Hey, what do we do this Friday? What are the numbers? Do we need more help? Do we need another answering service? What do we need? They're in a management position. You have to figure out how to get in a management position. So if you need more money, your mom of 4 kids is not jumping in a car driving for Uber. Now I posted something else on the wall about and I could pull it up on Facebook. Let me see if I can pull her up. But essentially, when people out here talking about the woman didn't give them access to their kids or their dad, you go ask your dad the real story. Y'all, we live in a time and age where anybody can call. Like, I'm gonna be really honest with you. My parents are going to divorce. My dad called the school directly. By the time my stepdad came in the picture, 2 years later, like I actively always had some male who came up to the school or talked to the teachers or was at PTAs or was interacting with my family or interacting with me directly or at the soccer games or at the events, like at the private school, talking to people. You will never convince me on God's green earth. I have 3 male cousins who got full custody. They didn't even know what they were doing. They didn't even clean their house well. And the judge was like, here you go. It's nothing but an effort. If you tell me, my woman ain't let me see my kids, you come to court, what's the kid's name? What's the kid's date of birth? What school does the child go to? Have you made an effort to call the school? Have you made an effort to go up there? Have you talked to the principal? Have you communicated what's going on? Have you seen the child after school activities? Have you gone over to the grandma's house? Do you know where her family lives? Like, there's 25 questions a judge and an attorney can ask in court to embarrass your ass. That's how I know y'all don't try. So you got to miss me with some of this goofy stuff, because people who've been down this path or they have a roadmap to adulthood, they know what you're using as excuses. So I'm not doing that to beat up on anybody, but I get a lot of pushback of like, well, Erica, you don't know. I'm like, no, I do. You're full of excuses. You don't find no excuse to find some weed in town. You don't use no excuse to find some booty in town. You use all your resources, your time, your energy, your best mental capacity to get on that Facebook, to get on that Instagram, to get on them Twitters. You blowing up hundreds of people's DMs every day and Twitter and everything else. Baby, if you wanted to, you would. And these kids are getting to adulthood and realizing, damn, you just sorry. You sorry. There's a girl right now bashing on Texas. And when I actually listened to the video, I was going to go bash on her, right? when I actually listened to the video, I felt sorry for her because I realized what happened. She had a father. She was in the military, and she kept texting him and texting him and texting him. And he made it seem like, oh, yeah, I would love to see you. She took her husband and her baby, her brand new baby, and moved to Texas, not even 45 minutes down the street from him. Guess what? He ghosted her. This is a grown man with another wife and more kids, and ghosts his own grown 20-something-year-old daughter. So her whole experience of Texas is like, oh, Texas is hot, it's ugly, it's terrible. Nah, baby, you're hurt. You're hurt that you moved here and this grown man did not do his job. But she should not even be worried. She's following the roadmap. Okay, the roadmap is she got married, she has her own kids. She needs to be focused on that family and that family alone. The roadmap is not complicated. We make the roadmap complicated. Does that make sense? That's really what I want to say for this whole thing. So when you listen to wealthy folks out here gaslighting you, they're making the roadmap for you to be a tourist. They don't care what you got going on. Okay? Let me make this bigger. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Because I really want y'all to see this. I'm gonna make this bigger. Yeah, I'm gonna make it bigger. Oh, that's too big. But let's do it anyway. Bam! Okay, let me do this. Put it up here. I'll make it bigger. Because it should be bigger. Oh, shit. Move it up. Make it bigger. That's too big. That's ridiculous still, but we're going to do what we do. Let's make this bigger. All right, that's good enough. It's good enough for what I want to do. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Okay, is that better? Let me finish this up because I only got a few clips to show y'all. I want to get out of here. All right. Them teachers know. Yeah, them teachers know. People ain't doing their damn job. Just trying to sell me on that. ChatGPT can put a whole legal brief for you. It's definitely put something together. Yeah, it's people got making up excuses every day. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. All right, so here we go. Sorry, I went on a tangent. I probably lost some of y'all. Now, 3 duplexes. Now, you're going to probably say, what is this numbers, Erica? What are these numbers? So I'm just using an example. When people talk about retirement, they just can never afford it. It's out of the question. It makes no sense. I'm going to just show you long-term. When you get out here, you're going to realize it could be as simple as 3 duplexes or 5 duplexes. Now you can say, Erica, duplexes are so expensive right now everywhere you go. I'm just going to use Cleveland as an example because I have property there. Another property came up down the street from my property, asking for me to buy it. May do it, may record it all summer as a documentary. But here we go. So let's say you get the duplex for $30,000 to $40,000. It's going to need work. Let's say you get it for 30. You put 40 into it. You add it for 70K, right? Now it's going to rent 700, 750, sometimes more, 800 each side. So I just did this for simple numbers, 1,500. And if I have 3 of them, I'm going to have 4,500. Now you're like, whoa, Erica, whoa, 4,500 is not enough for me. And I just want you to understand, I've been on the phone, people tell me they need $20,000 a month to live. And I ask them, how much are they making right now? And they say $3,000. Y'all got to stop it. You got to stop. You got to come back and get in reality. You got to do, if this takes you 3 years, one house at a time, this takes you 10 years. 10 years going to pass either way. So let's say I'm getting an extra 4,500 in for our property manager to take maybe his 10% off top, right? It's coming in. That is the equivalent of like a whole year's salary for a lot of people, right? And I only spent $210,000 on that deal. If I did that, I hope I'm not losing y'all for 3 of those. If I put 70K into it, 3 of those equals 210. Now you're gonna say, Erica, where am I gonna get 210 from? Credit cards, your savings, investments, something. Now you can even buy the first duplex, take a loan out, buy the second duplex, take a loan out, buy the third duplex. I mean, you can do this a million ways. I'm just showing you an example. Okay, I'm just showing you an example, but you have to be locked into this, right? This ideal, this roadmap that we're going to get 3 of these, and this extra $4,500 a month. Again, this is before insurance, and this is before your property manager takes it out. We're going to get this $4,500 a month, and we're going to be disciplined. We're going to take this $4,500 a month and realize at the end of the year, we have basically a whole additional salary coming into our lives. Now, what are we going to do with this money? We don't use this money to trick off. We don't use this money to go party and lollygag. We got to figure out, okay, are we paying off credit cards that help us buy this duplex? Are we refinancing this money? What are we doing with this money? Right? We have to have a game plan, a roadmap. That's an extra $54,000 a year income. coming into your pocket that you're going to have tax deductions on, right? If everything goes right, your property manager got some sense, your tenants got some sense, nobody's lighting the house is on fire, nothing's crazy, great. But say you get the 5 duplexes, and you're getting $7,500 a month, $7,500 a month. That is an additional $90,000 a year income just from buying cheap duplexes that you fixed up in one city. Erica, I don't live in Cleveland. No, duh, neither do I. Right? But the problem is you never get on the roadmap. You never buy the first property. You never invest any money. So you don't know that this is the math. You don't know you can go to the bank and say, hey, man, I have these 5 and they have all this equity, and or you can sell these as a bundle package to another investor, whatever. You don't know the math because you don't want to know the math. So I put over here the book, One Thing by Gary Keller. Multitasking is a myth. That spreading yourself too thin across many tasks leads to mediocrity. Let people do what they do well. Let people do what they do well. Now, there is a group, a lot of people do turnkey real estate. People hate it. They complain about it. They're like, oh, the people who bought it made all the money. At the end of the day, if you're just trying to get returns on your money and you're not just trying to get $200 a door on your money, keep it simple. There are plenty of people selling these turnkey packages here. Plenty of people. Okay. But how do I know digital marketing is awesome? Been doing it for 10 years. Right? How do I know to drive traffic? I've been doing it for 10 years. How do I know to build up and say, yeah, get your own e-com, get your own products? Because you get to a leverage point in all these where you're like, well, why am I sending thousands of people to your website, your page, your YouTube channel, and I'm not making no money off of it? That's a problem, right? So again, you have to understand wealthy people just do this over and over again, right? When I told you there was a Swedish company that had 100 duplexes in Cleveland, and when they got raggedy, they just sold them one at a time. This is all that happens. Now you can build yourself from the ground up with this, with just you doing land flipping and wholesaling and whatnot. And again, we've talked about that in multiple courses and classes. At the end of the day, you can build out something. You're just going to have somebody really focused on it. Either you're going to focus on it 1 hour a day, and it's your business. You build it. That's your lane, your traffic, your money, your opportunity. You build it 1 hour a day, or you pay somebody. There's literally answering services. Because, when you send out mail, you're going to get some hate calls. Like, don't send shit to my house. Stop calling me for selling my house or my land or my whatever. You got answering services out there who work through the calls while you at your job and handle a lot of that. Okay? Let me get out of here real quick. Let me show you this. This is the clip I wanted to show you. And if this has been informational, just drop a 1 in the comments so I know that you hear me, see me, and it makes sense. If not, okay, cool.
Is the fact that they often become de facto professional, social, and romantic circles. For example, the iconic scene from Sex and the City where the women are reading through the New York Times wedding announcements is just as true today as it was then.
You know who those women marry? The Roman numeral guys. Charles Duffy Anderson IV. Ding, ding, ding.
Making connections is by far the most important work of the wealthy, and often this happens through mergers of family and romance, whose father knows whom, and who married into which dynasty. By the way, much conversation has been had about why Big married Natasha and not Carrie. We could unpack this for years, and yes, there are multiple reasons, but the number one is that Natasha is from his social class. Carrie's a brokey with a shopping addiction who writes a sex column and lives in a ramshackle apartment. Natasha's the kind of woman who gets you printed in the New York Times wedding section. And when it comes to our careers, according to recruiting firm Robert Walters, personal connections almost always help with the job search, and especially for the already wealthy. Quote, nearly 4 in 5 employers prioritize personal connections over skill sets when making hiring decisions, with 68% of highly qualified candidates being overlooked in favor of those with better personal connections or networks. According to a recent survey into DEI in the workplace, just 29% of employers said that they value a candidate's qualifications and skills in equal measure to the people they know. This type of judgment impacts employees significantly. 62% feel as though their progression opportunities are hindered, even though their skills or output qualify them for a promotion. 70% of employers admit that their personal relationships also influence promotion decisions, with just 11% saying that they have measures in place to prevent workplace nepotism. The study reveals a stark gap in career advancement between the classes. Upper-class professionals have a 71% higher chance of getting a promotion than working-class counterparts, and they also have a clearer vision of how to climb the career ladder, while 70% more working-class professionals are unsure of what they need to do to progress.
And boom, pause. Let me get up here to 32. Because people are saying, well, that's just white collar. Let's go there.
Almost 20% more than they otherwise would. And due to gender sorting, the tendency of men to work in higher paying professions than women, and existing wage gaps, white men from high-income families benefit from nepotism far more than poorer people, women, and minorities do. And interestingly, when you look at the data, you can see that this kind of chain of nepotism and connections actually also plays out in blue-collar fields. This is not to say that these advantages are on the same level as massive generational wealth, but it is another way in which who we know ultimately shapes almost everything about our lives. In fact, some data indicates that blue-collar careers like manufacturing have just as much, if not more, of a nepotism problem in their hiring practices than Fortune 500 companies. And these professional connections are still a kind of wealth because they limit opportunity for others regardless of qualifications. When literally about a third of American workers under 30 have the job they currently have because a parent works there, it means that children born to parents who, for whatever reason, can't offer them that same pipeline are basically starting from several yards behind. And
boom, pause right there. I want y'all to understand. When I talk to y'all about other people come from countries, African countries, Indian countries, South America, if you don't have something for your kids to do, a job, a position, they have no job, they have no position. Okay, Argentina, Venezuela, all these places. When you're like, oh, those women in the Dominican Republic those women in the Dominican Republic are selling their bodies because their parents have no money. That's what they're doing. We want to go there. They're locked out of what? Opportunities and capital and whatnot. People in these countries are doing what they need to do to survive, but you live in America. And so when I ask you, well, my son or daughter better go out there and apply for some jobs and hit the pavement, what have you done to prepare for this child? You accidentally had a baby. You're not married. You just whoopsie babied it. You complain about child support. You don't have any plans. You don't know how you're going to retire. What have you put this child into? And you can't say, well, they better figure it out. Well, figure out what? You ain't even figured it out. You need a roadmap. You need a roadmap. Okay? I just want y'all to understand, you need a roadmap. Please stop. Like, I personally know people right here in Central Texas. The lady got a government contract for $100 million spread out over 7 years. She literally is try to not say her information, but essentially she is a person who could test ballistics. And she went to college for it, and it was such a rare degree. And people were like, well, how'd you get this degree? She was like, oh, I just went. I just kept paying because I had scholarships. And she was able to get this government contract, and her daddy, who ain't even skilled in this, is working for her. Okay? And then her cousin is working for her. This is a diffuser. This is a humidifier. Relax. Take a deep breath. It helps with your sinuses, helps your breathing. Okay? So when you talk to people and they're like, oh, I'm just going to wing it. Good luck to my kids. They better go get a job at Chick-fil-A. They better go get a job at Jersey Mike's. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy because you don't know what you're talking about. It's who you know, not what you know. Always. Okay? It's who you know, not what you know. Social capital matters. When all these men on the internet, I'm going to be a lone wolf. I'm going to run off and do stuff by myself. I'm not going to talk to anybody. No, lone wolves don't ever make it in society. That's not even real. It's not real. It's not real. Right? I literally spent the week connecting with some real estate folks in parts of North Carolina on junk removal because I was like, hey, can you give me some smaller contracts? My nephew can do them. He's got a truck. He's got trailers. He's got all kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Well, that's sweet. We'll give him a couple contracts. But you need about $5,000 a month. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. He's a teenager. Like, give me some small stuff that he can do. Because you guys understand, if you don't create the pathway will not be created. These kids don't know what they want to do. They're waiting on your instruction. They need your help. And if you don't guide them where they need to go, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's really your job is to guide. Right. And again, when it comes to this type of thing, my cousin came out of the Navy. He had trainings for chemical materials, basically making medicine. And there was a job opening where they were hiring a veteran. He gets there. He's like, Erica, I'm kind of scared. It's like 30 white dudes. They all know each other. They all go hunting and fishing each other. They're all veterans, or they're in the National Guard. And here I am, the black guy coming out of the Navy. And I'm wearing, that one cousin I have, he dresses kind of urban. He grows the big Rick Ross beard. He's kind of short. And so he's like, I don't fit here. And I'm like, it's not about fitting in. The military gave you access to this job. They're hiring veterans. You're making pills. You're getting paid $47 an hour. Go do the job. Who cares who's at work? And this is the problem. A lot of black people are like, I don't know if I can make friends at work. I don't care about you making friends at work. I want you to get enough experience under your belt so you can pick up and move to the next city and the next place and the next job and keep it pushing. All right? That's the goal. It's not there to be friendly. And so they all know each other. They helped each other get that job. You don't know anybody. The military was your buddy. The military was your friend. That's how you got the door. Okay? Let me show you this other one part of her saying this, and then we're going to get out of here.
Just like a few decades ago in America. It used to be that the cost of homes were at least somewhat aligned with what one person was paid. Most people used to buy a home on one salary, and very few of those people worked white-collar jobs or had a college education. The fact that now close to half of people need to come from some kind of wealth in order to buy a home, like, we're so cooked. And this isn't even taking into account the huge rise of all cash offers, especially in super competitive housing markets like New York City. Quote, this April, 64% of Manhattan's home sales were all cash. That's almost double the number of large US metros, 39%, and a much larger difference than just 2 years ago. This trend is significantly a result of high mortgage rates, which incentivize homebuyers to use their savings rather than to borrow money from the bank. Also, low housing supply and high demand means that buyers are eager to stand out to those selling their properties, including by promising an immediate cash payment. And there are many reasons why this is extremely bad for housing markets, but one of them is that it ensures basically no one but the richest of the rich, or at least the most liquid, can actually buy homes. And for the vast majority of younger adults looking to enter the housing market, that huge payment is going to have to come from their parents. I actually know.
So she talks about how she knows somebody whose parents gave them $1 million to go to a house in New York. I want y'all to understand, she's on this channel getting mad with y'all for saying she's wealthy, getting mad with y'all for saying she's rich, getting mad with her because she goes in summers in France for months at a time. Mad that y'all bring it up, mad that y'all put it in her face. But at the end of the day, okay, you have to realize, she even realized how silly this is. She goes and eats lunch with someone whose parents gave them $1 million down payment on a house. This is why when I'm sitting here talking to you about 40K house in Detroit or Cleveland, or preferably Cleveland over Detroit, if I can be honest, Cleveland over Detroit, right? I'm telling you, there's some people you can network with and try to get a few properties and just sit on it for the next 10 years, because none of these investments are like, I'm gonna hop in this for 2 years. In 2 years, I'm gonna sell this and buy a bunch of stuff in Texas. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a 5 to 10 year sit on it. Yes, they're cheap, but by the time you do the math over a 10-year window, it's no big deal. It's cheap. It pays for itself. Taxes pay for itself. All that stuff over a 10-year window. Right? I'm saying for the landlord laws and policies and evictions. That's what I mean. For the landlord laws, policies, and evictions. For me, Cleveland has been the better fare of the two. But yes, and so I want you to understand, this lady is doing this show and she's mad that you're criticizing her for being wealthy. But how many of you have sat in here and know somebody whose parents gave them $1 million for a down payment on a brownstone in New York? Not many of us. All right. So I want you to understand, there's wealthy folks are kind of gaslighting you into this roadmap that you should just go play off in the summers in Europe. You should be gallivanting in Miami and Dubai and all that stuff. And for a lot of you, that is just financially doesn't make any sense. So whose roadmap are you following? right? So this, it's not going to work for you. That roadmap is not for you. Let me go to this video. Where the video at? Hold on. I had it for y'all. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me close this one. I got 2 more videos and that's it. I'm gonna get out of here a little bit early today. Or try to. Y'all know I say that every time though. I say it every time. Okay, let me show you this part. All right, so let me go here.
Is right now on MSNBC, quote, bad law. He's talking about eliminating all voter registration laws because voter registration is racist. Back in the day, we never had voter registration. Now things are changing a little bit along with, well, the economy you live in. And I'm sorry, guys, the economy not so good. The U.S. consumer is melting down. Here is why. Well, you already know because you've subscribed to this channel and we've gone over this ad nauseum. But yes, now we have buy now, pay later if you need a burrito from Taco Bell, because people in America can't even afford their next bill or their next meal. Oh, and just in case you want to see a chart of this, this is active accounts making the minimum payment. We are on the precipice of it's over. Delinquencies on just about every loan type. Lots. Well, except for student loans. You guys still have like a moratorium or something on that? That is just insanity. Charge off.
Why did I talk to you about student loans? What did I say? People are going to go back to school. They're going to keep racking up the student loan debt to what? Hide out in college for a year or two. All right. They're going to hide out for a year or two at school, 2-3 years, come back into the job market. Now they have more debt. Now they're going to be kind of pushed to take a job they don't like unless they do a true assessment of like, wait, what do I want to do? What kind of career do I want to have? They have to have an honest moment. So again, you're going to see student loans go up. I told y'all this, and credit cards go up for the next 2 years. So let me just keep going.
Off rates. I'm going to go with really high. Actually, based on this chart, this is the highest you've ever seen it. All of the balances are going up and all of the revolving balances are going up. Thank goodness we got a great housing market. Look at all these loans. That was maybe just those 10-year-olds that got the multi-million-dollar loans. All of this at the end of the day is going to end in bankruptcies. It's going to end up in failures, recessions. Oh, one more thing. This guy here, I'll pause it. OMG journalists, 23andMe. Guys, bankruptcy. These are companies that are going out of business. They have your information. Go on there.
Now, what is somebody going to do? If you have your information at 23andMe, what is going to happen? They're going to sell the information. That's the easiest thing to do. I'm just going to sell your information and I'm going to make some money. We're going to close out liquidate sources. That's all. We're going to close out liquidate sources.
You lost subscribers in yesterday's video because you said bad things about Donald Trump. See things and I'm like, that's a red flag. I just want you to know that I'm over here with some common sense.
Hold on.
But I read all.
I wanted to show you
Since it seems like we're doing more.
Pause. Okay. Does anybody know who this woman is right here? Does anybody know who this black woman is right here? Anybody heard her the past couple days? They've been going on and on, blaming her for Elon Musk's attacks and all this other stuff. Did y'all hear me not talk about her, that she went to private school her whole life, a very wealthy private school. Then she went to a very wealthy college. And then she's up here doing basically the blackface for y'all. Yeah, girl, that's what I'm talking about, girl. Girl, say so, girl. Look at my weed, girl. Like, bro, like she went to a very wealthy $30K a year private school in high school and middle school. Then her parents sent her to a private college. You're gonna say, well, Erica, blah, 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 blah. Listen, this is how they're playing in your face. This girl knows this is not how she sounds. This is not how she acts. The extra lashes, the hair. This is a mockery. There are plenty of black people who send their black kids to private colleges and private universities and private schools, and they do not act like this. This is a play in your face. Okay. That's how it started. Bad body built, beach body. You know what I'm saying? That silly mess. Wes, I know, and I'm very unliked by a lot of Black people when I get on the phone. After I've done message them and say, hey, we're gonna have this 5-minute conversation on something, and they're like, oh, even when y'all book y'all calls, I try not to waste y'all time when we book calls. Right? Yeah, he literally calls himself Johnny Bravo. About to be a defendant. I mean, that's the whole point. She's gonna call on some friends' help. They're trying to come get me. But I'm gonna leave that alone. Again, I'm gonna go to this one part, and I'm just saying they're not following fraud enough for me and arresting people and putting them in jail because it's who knows who. But I'm gonna do this real quick.
Because I think I'm going to agree with you. There's a point where uncovering the fraud is great. Going after the said fraud, more greater. And this fraud gets crazier by the day.
The Small Business Administration, where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
Well, we're tackling the fraud, waste, and abuse in the agency. We've seen, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted. So we're taking that on. We have a zero tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
Now, let's be very clear. My opinions on a lot of this is the money that gets sent out of these banks and out of the federal government, it went to a bank account. It went to a person. Even if it went to LLC, that's tied to somebody's social. We know who that person is. They could go get those people any day they wanted. Let's not be stupid here. 2/3 of all SBA loans go to people who are children of immigrants. The other 1/3, who are those? We don't know. We don't know. Right? Because certain people only play. If I sit here and talk about, hey, let's fill out an SBA loan, you're like, oh man, they asked too many questions. I don't want to do that, Erica. I'm just telling y'all. Exactly. When I see her hair, I'm like, who did your hair? Who put them lashes on? Rumble the movie Living Large? Possible. And so I just want y'all to understand, like, this is just, again, and Trump's trying to placate you too here. Elon can't get too popular and get too many laughs. He don't like that. When you work with people who are, they got to be the biggest in the room. You have to work under them, sensei. You know what I'm saying? You know what time it is. So he had to hear him ask the lady who's over here, are we going to prosecute some people? There we go.
And you have a lot of that. We found far too much of it. It's a pure fraud. We like to use the words waste and abuse because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud.
Also, something funny, and I don't.
Anyway, my point in all that to share that with you is that's where people are. Okay, you pointed it out. Great. You know there's fraud. You know there's waste and abuse, whatever word we like to use. Are we going to prosecute people? Are we going to go get the checks back? Are we going to go get some money back? Or are those your friends? That's where we at with it. And that's where a lot of people, if you pay attention, that's where the conversation is going to have to go. Okay? Like, what are we doing about this? What's the next step? Where's the conclusion to this? Now I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna kind of show these 2 clips and then I'm gonna read this first. We have to get over our fear of being the only Black person in a situation. My mom broke me out of that early. I went to Catholic school K through 9th grade. I was one of the 5 Black students in the whole school. Yeah. Because in society, you're not going to always be in a space where it's just Black people. You're not going to be in a neighborhood where it's just all people. You know? I mean, they know exactly who has the money. Right? Like, again, when I talk about, if you see some of these companies out here, they only got 1 or 2 employees. It look like money laundering because it does look like money laundering. Let me show you this. Same thing with this young man in these videos. Section 8 Kareem, the Middle Eastern kid who started buying Section 8 properties at 17 years old. That's because of the laws we have in place. His parents are probably green card citizens. Okay, let's take our money we got from the gas station and the stores in Louisiana and put it in his name. Because you're here in Texas, we have the same issue. Bunch of 18-year-olds getting gifted houses because they're the only family member that has a birth certificate. This is very common. It happens here. So he's just listing places that are, I didn't like the music. It was getting on my nerves. So Toledo, Ohio, East St. Louis, Illinois. There is an East St. Louis, Illinois. Flint, Michigan. East St. Louis, what did he put? Illinois? Youngstown, Ohio. Why are these places? Because they're cheap. Gary, Indiana. Please don't invest in Gary, Indiana. I know people always like, no, Erica, stop talking about Gary like this. I just want you to understand there's more cities and states to invest in under 100,000. Stop putting money into places where there is no economic incentive for the property manager to do right by you, the handyman to do right by you, anybody to do right by you. You don't have the capital to waste like that. You need to be in cities where the economic investment is into you. So I'm here in Austin. Where do people go invest? Killeen, South Dallas, in the hoods of Houston, right? But I just showed that example earlier on Cleveland. Just a couple duplexes allows you to have paperwork. It allows you to go to the bank. It allows you to kind of state your case for why you should be given particular money. Yes and no. Yes and no. The whole credit game, I've told y'all that. There's levels to the credit game. At the end of the day, if you have credit cards and you can buy houses cash, it's a better route. It's a much better route. But that's another, they on life support. Them cities is limping. But you can make money off zombies. I've told y'all that. You can make money off any zombie any day. Let me stop this right here. Let me go to let me show you Arizona real quick. This right here cracks me up. Aristotle Invest, he said in 2025, you don't have a side hustle outside your 9-to-5, a business, stocks, crypto, or real estate. You can't be in my circle of friends. You're a liability. Yeah. Anyway, he said if you're American in 2025 and you're broke with less than 5K to your name, do not hop on the internet acting intelligence. Focus on getting your paper up. It takes 5 years to build any type of wealth, social media platform, or loyal fan base. That means everybody who starts in 2025 will be set in 2030 if they don't give up. I agree with that one because I've watched people build these platforms, and whenever they want to pivot to a new thing, a new conversation, the next level, more stuff, more whatever, they can do it. It's nothing but a click of a button, right? Again, y'all don't ask me questions like this. This is an hour phone call. This is an hour phone call. This is an hour phone call. Erica, I only have 60K saved up and one house. Listen, go follow the standard rules we've applied on this channel forever. Go apply the standard rules. I'm gonna show the whiteboard. Let me go to the whiteboard. If you read ladder up income, if you read any of those, the standard rules, let me take this off. Let me get this out of here. The standard rule is going to be what, y'all? When I tell you the standard rule, let me make that list. I'm going to say bank CDs, money market account, high dividend stocks. Let me move it, make it bigger. High dividend stocks. Then I'm going to go to, I could do a couple of things here. I could say it, but I'm not. High dividend stocks. And then I'm going to decide from this point on, what more do I need to do? My money's already getting 11 to 14% returns. What's the next thing I want to do? Do I want to go on Roofstock and buy a rental property? Do I want to go and just keep stacking this do I want to go put this, I can say it. Do I want to go put this in a stock account and take a loan out against it? Because you can do that with several banks. We've talked about it in the funding bundle multiple times now. We don't even have to use that money. We can literally stack that money and take a loan out against it. And that's not a margin account. That's an actual secured loan by your collateralized assets. So once you've done that, and then you're like, well, I took a loan out against the money that I had sitting on the sides, and now I'm going to buy a rental cash, cool. Or now I'm going to do something else, cool. Now I'm going to start a business, cool. Whatever you want to do. But make sure you have all these stacked up. And this is very basic conversation here. This isn't like rocket science. Right? This isn't rocket science. It's not. It's very basic. But that's an hour conversation because it all depends on what you want to do. You know what I mean? And this is my reference to him right here. This is Again, some people at 60, they would go invest in a ridiculously expensive building. They would go do other stuff. They would go develop. They'd go buy a piece of land and do new construction. They would do a lot of stuff. It just depends. So yeah. So that anytime y'all ask me those questions, I'm never being disrespectful to y'all in the response. It's just, again, like the standard stacking, and that's a phone call. It's like an hour phone call. That's like, what do you want? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? That's that kind of phone call. Let me show you these last two. I'm gonna get out of here. So I feel like I'm going over my time because I gotta go pick something up. Let me go here. Do I have it? Uh-oh. Do I have it? Let me show you this and then I go to the next and the last thing. All right. Oh no, it went away. Go back. There you go. All right, I'm gonna read this to y'all because I want y'all to understand this is crazy. Ken Andrews. Blank said he was tired of being blanked up and is now living in a hotel after a toxic breakup. Says he wants to get his CDLs. I said, I know a company that will pay you your whole ride and provide you with a job. He said, yeah, but I can't pass a drug test. I said, that's fine. You take it the next 30 days to get yourself together and then handle that business. At least you'll have a plan. This blank word said, yeah, but my birthday's coming up. People want to do drugs in this country so bad. That's what they want to do. They just want to do it. They want to party. What is he celebrating for his birthday if he's living in a hotel and just broke up with a girlfriend? What is he celebrating? Think about that. What is being celebrated? What are you celebrating? What's being celebrated? I don't understand. And let me show you this and let me get out of here. This is the last thing I'm going to show y'all. I'm just bringing this up here to say you guys need a roadmap. And I may not be a roadmap. We have the book coming out. We'll have it posted, all this other stuff. But I want you to understand, like, I may not be your roadmap. You may not want to hear me, what I have to say. But I'm just showing you 10 years of doing digital money, digital business, and real estate business at the same time. You know, somebody asked me in the comments, well, what about trucking? What about it? I'm like, man, you ain't been here for past 5-6 years we've been talking. Like, I just want you to understand, like, some stuff is a cash-heavy business. It's a cash-heavy business. If you have 1 to 4 trucks, you can sit down, be fine. Take those 4, enjoy your life. You can make $1 million every year. But then you're only going to get 10% profits, 10 to 20% profit returns on those trucks. Why would I do a 10 to 20% profit return on $1 million in trucking when I can do $1 million in digital businesses and have an 85% profit on my money? Again, if I have $1 million in my digital business and I walk off with 85% profit, I'm just saying $850,000 a year versus me having 4 trucks and I'm only going to walk off with $200,000 a year. You tell me what's better. A headache of 4 grown men that are going to go in and out and get on my nerves and have to be on top of them, or a digital business? Do you know what I'm saying? Or me taking this digital money and then go over here and put the money into some rentals that I can have a property manager over. I've been doing property management for over 15 years, y'all. Family in Carolina does a ton of property management. Been doing documentation work forever. Been doing digital forever. I can tell you, as a person who's gone into multiple business lanes, what it financially works best for me, what works best for others. I've watched and observed enough. I can tell people the Middleman to Millions courses. I know people right now. There's a realtor who owns a barbershop. He ain't in there cutting hair. He just owns the barbershop. They pay their booth rent. They give him his money, and he going by his day. He partnered with the guy who manages the barbershop, but he ain't in there cutting the hair, right? Like, again, you can be in management. There's a certain level of money. When you hit the money, you're in management. You're just managing the capital movement. That's it. And there's no, again, I've loved this genre of make money online, help people start from the bottom, get to the top. All that's been beautiful. I'm just letting you know. You can move around, make different decisions. It's not hard. But let me show you, this is why a lot of y'all are working jobs you don't like and staying in places you don't want to be because of this.
$33,000 in debt.
My 2024 Amex wrapped not as a rich person, but just as a financially irresponsible 25-year-old.
Americans' credit card balances have hit an all-time high of more than $1.2 trillion.
Okay, so today we have another round of insane.
So again, I don't know if y'all heard those first two. The first boy works in the oil fields. He has $133,000 in debt. $133,000 in debt. This is a 26-year-old with $95,000 in debt.
$87.73 worth of debt, and I want to talk about it. Up until 24 hours ago, I did not know that was actually the total of all of my debt, credit cards, and student loans. That number also does not include my auto loan, and if we are adding in my auto loan, the total number is $110,938.83.
The actual chokehold my debt has on me as a 26-year-old with over $100,000 in student loan debt.
I owe the IRS.
So let's have a conversation. You're talking about people who are $100,000 in debt, and they only want to work office jobs. That's going to limit them to $50,000 or under, depending on what. If they got the skill, they wouldn't be on here doing this. If they had the skill. If you're really going to be in engineering, you're going to be in medicine, medical. You're going to be a nurse. You're going to be some of these people that make $80,000 to $150,000 a year. If you buckle down for 2 years, you're out of this. You buckle down for 3 years, you're out of this. You have some roommates for a year or two, you're out of this. I lived here in Austin, Texas. I was making $200K that year. I lived with one girl in the house. She had $195,000. I lived in the other girl in the house. It was 3 of us in there. She made $156,000. She was a financial analyst. All 3 of us left that house to do what? Buy a house, buy our own houses. And the girl who owned the house turned around and sold that house. She bought it for $280,000 and sold it a year and a half later for $400,000. The way out of poverty is the roadmap to what makes you the most income. Okay. What is the, be careful how I say this. What makes you the most income, and where can you start buying assets? If it's just you working a job and you're like, I don't want to buy a house. I don't want to buy rentals. I'm just going to tell you to stack your paper digital money up to the ceiling. Keep finding 14 to 15% returns on your money. Eventually, some of you will get to a point where you got $100,000 and you put it with a hard money loan company. You know what I'm saying? And you become the hard money lender. And you get your returns in 6 months or a year, depending on how you're moving. And you just keep stacking. But the true pathway to and roadmap to you not being gaslit by wealthy people who are out here dressing nice, spending every summer, hanging out, is you investing. You can change your life in a 2-year window. You just have to decide on how long it's going to be for you. All right. We have a lot of inner circle students who we hope that we're going to come on later this summer, and you will be able to see some of those people, some clips, some interviews of them, some, not necessarily all of them interviewed, but some clips of the projects we're working on, the things we're doing. Y'all, I only want to work with people who are serious. I only want to work with people who are serious and people who are trying to get to the next level. We can go all day and all night about maybe if I start this, maybe if I start that. No, stop it. Cut it out. This is why people work these 40, 50 years. Okay. All right. That's why they do it. Because they're in massive debt. Let me play a little bit more.
$34,000. Okay, next we have my car loan, which I owe $23,295 on that. And then I have 6 credit cards, and across all of them, I owe $7,465.
Let's budget my paycheck together as a girly who is 28 and $67,000 in credit card debt.
I could probably just sit here and
I don't even let the person talk. I just play the the clips.
Things like this. I thought we wanted to buy a house. I thought that was the goal.
I bought a new car.
Oh my God.
And I went to Disneyland 37 times in 2 different countries.
Come on.
Wait.
Where
I want you to hear that. Hold on. Go back a little bit.
Upgraded to first class.
Wow.
My 2024 Amex wrapped not as a rich person, but just as a financially irresponsible 25-year-old. I'm here with my mom, who is very frugal. This year, I took 12 unnecessary vacations, upgraded to first class 6 times.
Oh my God.
Bought 10 luxury items that I did not need.
Why are you doing things like this? I thought we wanted to buy a house. I thought that was the goal.
I bought a new car.
Oh my God.
And I went to Disneyland 37 times in 2 different countries.
Come on.
Travel. Where did we go this year? Bahamas, Las Vegas, Hawaii twice, London twice, Berlin twice, Greece, Cabo, Paris, Pennsylvania, Catalina, and New York twice. For food, we tried 15 new restaurants this year, Finally got a reservation at Carbone.
First of all, we're going to go there for a second. He's sassy. All his sassy friends are on the travel. Okay. Right? There's one. Number 2, he's got an NYC shirt on. Number 3, he's talking. Number 3, his mom's talking about buying a house. She's not even hearing this debt. I want you to understand, okay, that if y'all talk to me, you get on the phone, Eric, I want to travel all this summer. Baby, you better be making some type of content so that it's offshoot, it's offset. You're not these people think they're rich because they have a credit card in their hand. Okay? Part of why I show y'all this is because I want y'all to understand, Erica, why would a person not buy a home? Why would they rent forever? Because their debt to income ratio. Erica, why wouldn't a person start a business if they're so smart? They could just start their own business because their debt is so high. Erica, why would somebody come work for you for $85,000 as a manager at one of your blue collar companies when they could just start their own company? Because the debt, they're in credit card debt, they're in housing debt. People rather work within a system. I'm within a team as well. I am in a team. I'm on teams and my partnerships. Here's the cash. You do what you do. I'll follow the rules. We'll look at the reports on Friday and keep it pushing. I really want y'all to understand that. That is how most of this works. How do we get into big money? Teams. We get into groups and teams and hey, you do whatever you got to do. Here's the check. Keep it pushing. But you have to have a roadmap you're following to get there. I make significant money. And most I do in the summer for frugalness, I'm like, well, I'm going to spend my 2 weeks in Yellowstone in Montana. Then I'm going to spend my 2 weeks in Las Vegas. Then I'm going to spend my 2 weeks in the islands. And that's good. I'm going to stop there. Then I'm going to spend my 2 weeks with my family at the beach house and somewhere else. I'm going to spend my 2 weeks. Like, I have a very routine, boring summer schedule. Very routine. I just don't want to burn up in Texas all summer. I go where I want to go. I do my reset and keep it pushing. And I do well. These people don't do well. They're just using credit cards right now. That's why when you say, why are the credit card limits going up? Why are the credit card debt going up? Why is the student loan debt going up? Now, he might have connections. His mama might have connections to help him connect with people and he can go work and make good money. But I'll just show that.
Very exciting. And we spent a total of $14,685 at restaurants this year.
Completely unnecessary.
Transportation. We called 300 plus Ubers this year. Most of them were Uber Blacks. And I rode on 3 trains for a grand total of $17,496.
I just want to butt in real.
Now, one thing is he actually has documentation of where he was going and what he was doing. So again,
a ton of money. He's not in the same situation as a majority of the clips we're going to see in this video. Irresponsible. And that's just a complete lie. If you go to his page, he has almost 3.5 million followers. This is somebody who's huge on social media in general. So showing how irresponsible his spending is, clearly he's making a ton of money. He's not in the same situation as a majority of the clips we're going to see in this video. But like I said before, this garners attention and more likes and followers. And then you could actually see how much money this guy makes and how famous he is, honestly. And these types of trends and videos start spreading to people who don't have that kind of money and just get into copious amounts of debt.
Entertainment.
My name, $55,000 of that debt is towards my car loan. So this is the car in all of its glory. It's a 2022 Ford Bronco. Love this car. The top comes off. Don't you just love capitalism so much? The interest rate on my loan is about 10%. I have no idea what that means, nor do I care, honestly. I'm already in this hole. Might as well sit in it, you know? I was making a lot of money off the internet. I had a good credit score. I had a lot of monthly income, so I got approved for a large car loan, and I decided to buy this car. Do I look absolutely good driving this car? Yes, I do, but that is not the reason why I bought this car. I bought this car to look cool, to impress people, and that's simply not true. I bought this car because it's been my dream car forever. And I finally had the
Bronco just updated 2 years ago. This has not been her dream car forever. If she wanted a Bronco from the 1990s, she would go buy a 1994 Bronco that's like $10K right now and refurbish it. She is not. Stop it. Cut it out. gotta go past there. I gotta go past there. I gotta get out of there. Let me go here real quick. This guy right here. Yeah, this one.
I am currently in $133,000 in debt. $110,000 of that is strictly just on my camper, my truck, and my baby mama's car. Then I have about $8,000 worth of credit card debt a month because I use my credit cards to pay for most of my bills, and it also helps increase my credit score. I also work in the oil field, so I don't feel too bad, but I just have to make sure that I do continue to do a good job at my work, because if I don't, then I would lose a lot of money.
So his thought process.
Okay, so most people don't want to work in oil fields. They're awful. You're sleeping in a camper. It's frozen out there. But a lot of men can make $90,000 to $120,000 a year, and they just got a high school diploma, and they just have a skill to drive a truck. Or some of the guys that work more heavy, intensive jobs are going to be paid $150,000. We had a friend go out there and make $90,000 a year, and he spent it all. He bought like a ridiculous SUV. He was hanging out with strippers, and he spent all his money, housing, everything. And we're like, you're joking, right? Because he wanted to marry this girl. He came out of the Marines. He wanted to marry this girl. Her parents are middle class from where I'm from, upper middle class, truthfully. And they were like, no, you're poor white trash. Get away from our daughter. And it broke his heart. And he went out there and worked oil fields. And so then he came back again and said, hey, can I marry her? Right? Because she's from a family of an accountants. And that's the crazy part. Like, long story short, she got him right the next year, and then she moved into a different job in PA. But he still makes a ton of money. It's just, you have to understand, like, your parents are seeing stuff in people sometimes. They're like, that's going to be a problem if you don't get a hold of it. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. But guys in oil field make money. It's not like they're not making money. Let me see here.
Wrote off $46 billion in seriously delinquent or late loan balances in the first 9 months of this year, up 50% from last year. Moody's Analytics says the bottom third of consumers are just tapped out, with the savings rate near zero following years of high inflation.
You'll still see clips like this pretty consistently if you start scrolling on TikTok.
28 years old, and I got all the old timers at work telling me, don't go buy toys, save your money. One day you're going to have to retire. That one day I could die, too. I could die at 30. Spend my money on all kinds. Go buy a boat. Just go buy a boat. Because all them fuckers up at the plant, they're all miserable. Every one of them miserable as can be, because they never bought a boat. They never bought a nice truck. They never bought shit. They just sat around miserable all the time. They tell me that all the time. They say, yeah, you know, you need to think about your retirement. When? At 75? So don't do till I'm 75 and then die. Nah. Rather just go buy a boat. I'd rather go drop about $200,000 on toys.
So you have a lot of posts like this.
I want you to understand, I know a lot of white guys like this right here in Austin. They got boats and they got trucks, and their truck ain't a work truck. It ain't a work truck. It ain't a work truck, right? And so part of why I want y'all to have this conversation, I want y'all to understand when I talk about, hey, will you take $40,000 and buy a cheap property, duplex, and put $40K in it, clean it up, and hey, you can join me. I'll show you this summer. If you come by and see me in Cleveland at one of my working properties, I'll show you this, because we bought multiple properties on one street. Somebody's gonna go, Erica, bump that. I'm gonna take this 40 and I'm gonna go to St. Bart's. I'm gonna go to Miami. I'm gonna party hard, and I'm out of here. Right? And they'll never see it till it's too late. Well, till they have the stroke, till they have the heart attack, till they're injured, till they can't get up and work, till they can't do what they need to do anymore. You know what I mean? That's when they'll be like, oh yeah, Erica, we should totally do that. And I just want you to understand that I'm not gaslighting you on, like, there's women that don't work. I literally interact with women who have a kid to 4 kids, and the work they do is little petty stuff here and there in a day because they want to. Or they own a company and they're really just managing the workers. They're not there every day. They don't show up at the office. They show up on Friday. Where's the reports? What's going on? Right? What are you doing? You know? So again, if the guy with the boat is going to go out every day for 16 weeks straight in the summer on a boat, maybe the boat's worth it to him. But I always tell y'all, whatever y'all going to buy, do the math on how many times you're going to use it. When people tell me they want a vacation home, Are you renting that vacation home out when you're not there? Those beach properties I was telling you about, they make anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 a year if they're rented out almost all year long. And then the property management out there takes half. So then this property that they paid $2 to $3 million on puts $100 to $200K in their pocket a year when they're not there. It makes sense for them. After all mortgages paid, all bills are paid, it makes sense because they have this beach house that when they do take their vacations, which people overestimate how many times they're going to take a vacation, it's there. Right? So I just showed you this because when people ask, well, Erica, if it's so easy, everyone would do it. No, they would not. Everyone would not do it. And Greg Cardone always said, not Greg Cardone, Dave Ramsey goes a lot about, he goes on and on about men debt is just as bad as women debt because men will go buy trucks and boats and big things that they don't, things they're not going to use every day. Women will buy a lot of little things. There's a book called Men Are Hunters and Women Are Gatherers.
Oh, Orly, you buy so many concert tickets. Oh, Orly, that's so much money. That's bad financial decisions. Can I inform you? I bought 3 concert tickets yesterday, okay? I spent less money on the concert tickets than my best friend spent on her White Fox order. Girl math, I made money.
I wanted to add this in because more people are talking about concerts recently and how unbelievable the prices are because it's kind of a monopoly right now with like Live Nation and all the Ticketmasters, a lot of the Vivid Seats, resale stuff, the extra fees that go along with it. Some bands that you want to see are just ridiculously expensive. So yeah, I guess it's a better decision than just ordering a whole bunch of stuff from White Fox, which is a clothing brand if you don't know what that is. But comparing 2 not great financial decisions doesn't make one of them right. That's great. But I'm starting to see a lot.
Yeah, so if you're self-employed and need some cash, this is all you're going to do. Just go to Giggle Finance. This is a website tailored.
The economy. Everybody's looking for a little. I have to watch it.
All right. So,
what I'm about to show you guys is going to upset a lot of people. If you have a collection on your credit report or you have debt collectors calling your cell phone every day, don't skip this video because the FTC just put out a massive list of all banned debt collectors. So if you have a collection on your credit report, search this list. You can look it up on ftc.gov and see if they're in here. These are all the companies that got caught violating the FDCPA law and have now been completely shut down, which means if they're on your credit report, they are no longer allowed to report to your credit. Now, if for whatever reason you don't find your collector on this list, not to worry, I'm making a part 2 of how you can still get it removed, even if they didn't make this ban list. It's already going to be there. Hop over to part 2 and I'll show you how to get them removed.
So I feel like if you just watch
so FTC, you guys can go watch that on your own time. Why did I show y'all that? I showed y'all that because I want you to understand that like people are going to be in massive debt, right? If I can buy from the venue directly, I always recommend that you do, because I was looking at these tickets, it was like $200. Well, then I go over to the venue at AC Theater, and the tickets were $49. I almost called the police. I said, Ticketmaster tried to rob me. Okay. So yes, I always go to the venue, House of Blues, any of them. I always go to the venue. It's cheaper, but also people make money by buying 2 or 4 tickets. They can't get a friend to go, so then they sell the other tickets. People do that all the time. Beyonce tickets, people have been complaining about them, but I want you to understand we're in an experience economy. People want experiences. They want to go places. They want to do things. It's what's called the experience economy. Okay. I know a guy who paid $2K for 4 people to see the Eagles in Vegas. Listen, well, I was going to pay exorbitant money to go see Stevie Nicks and Billy Joel in Detroit. And I said, no, we can't do it. We can't spend that to see 60-year-olds singing. We're going to have to wait till they come further south. But anyways, listen, that's what I have for y'all today. I don't want to be here that long. I got to pick up some stuff, pick up some errands, pick up some clothes, pick up some stuff. But I want you to understand, like, what roadmap are you following? You don't have to take my roadmap. You don't have to believe me on the stuff I say on this channel. I provide a lot of documents. I provide a lot of evidence. I show you where I'm going, what I'm doing, who I'm working with. I show you my students. I show people that work with me. At the end of the day, you'll see it all this summer. I am one of those people who've already booked most of my summer travel. I'm going to be out and about. But at the end of the day, like, this is kind of, I'm just trying to show y'all this is what's happening in the marketplace. You're going to see student loan debt go up. You're going to see credit card debt go up. People are going to not cut till it hurts. They're not. They're not going to cut till it hurts. So if you're in a financial position where you're like, oh, what should I do, Erica? I'm going to tell you the basics. The basics are the best. Go get a higher paying job. Get on the roadmap to a higher paying job. Go get you some certificates, go get you some opportunities to increase your income, take that money, stack it in your bank, stack it up, and then take a loan out against it. And then you can go buy whatever you need or want that are going to put returns in your pocket. But 9 times out of 10, some of y'all got to book a call me because I don't know you from Adam. I can't give you generic ass information on the internet. You'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just telling you what I've personally done or I know works, or I bring on people on the channel like Diamond Dave and these people who have experience, who actually do it daily. It saves all of us the headache. Sorry, you guys. This is your girl, Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Go check out Diamond Dave. I know he has a video coming up on dating as a trader. I'd love to hear that. So, all right, you guys. This is your girl. Have a wonderful day. See you guys later this week. I'll be in Dallas interviewing for some podcasts. Hopefully, I'll be able to record and share it here on this channel, some of the interviews I was in.
This is David W. Williams, and I'm giving a testimony to Erica Williams and her team. Because of the advertising relationship that we were able to develop, my company had the best month in the month of November for the whole year of 2024. And I'm talking about our sales were 3 or 4 times any other month during that particular year. And I know it's because of the relationship that I had with Erica and how she worked with me as an advertising partner. So now here's the benefit of working with her and her team. She's going to communicate to you what you're going to get as a result of working with her. She's going to over deliver on her value that she's providing, right? And she's not going to do a one-off deal. She's going to really invest in your success because she's really invested in making sure that you're going to get a success story from working with her as an advertising partner. So if you're looking to drive more sales, you're looking to bring in more leads, and you're also looking to get more exposure to what you're doing, you want to reach out to Erica and ask her, can I advertise with you?